Day, I feel like. Good morning, everybody. God.com with 21 months. Thank you for the resubscription. Today we're playing some red black rock with a licensed hearse. This is I think a pretty good shell to main deck this card. Hearse is one of the more powerful cards from the streets of New Capenna. Nassif just got second in Saturday's Modern Challenge with the hearse in the main deck of Murktide. I think it is totally reasonable to main deck one or two copies in these Ragavan strategies, and I think red-black is a great candidate for two in the main deck. There's also Dreamhack Dallas this Saturday. It is the first regional championship qualifier in paper in I think all of the United States, and thankfully it's like right in my backyard. So I'm going to be focusing mostly this week on, I think, circling back to decks that I'm considering for this tournament. I have not decided on the deck yet. I've been feeling like red black is a good deck for a long time. I'm messing around with it a little bit off stream this weekend. And so I really do want to consider it for the tournament, but I am also considering just Murktide, Blue Red Phoenix, Prowess Shredder Phoenix, the Esper food deck. I think I want to play Esper over Dimir. I think that the white splash is pretty good, and then maybe random wild card mono black. I played Jeskai Lotus Field last time at a paper tournament, and I feel like the metagame hasn't changed so much. I was pretty happy with that choice. Could maybe circle back to that too. But I do feel like the main deck curses make a lot of sense here, especially the two-color deck. Lots of good ways to crew it. Pretty excited to get to play with the card. What I like about black-red always compared to Jund, compared to some of the more control-y Grixis variants compared to black-green is your mana is very good, very smooth, very painless. On the plan tapped. It's into the Bugbear is super powerful manland. Tourach gives you also a much better time against 4-color Omnath when you compare this deck to Murktide or Jund or basically any other deck in the archetype. We even have the 4th Tourach in the sideboard. It's not enough to swing the matchup in your favor, but it does make it I think I would probably put us at 48% against Omnath or something like that, something close to that. Which is a lot bigger than Murktide's 42% or Jund's, a little less than 45%, I would estimate. Why 23 lands? Yeah, no, I was playing 24 before. I think it's very close between 23 and 24. I don't think that it matters a ton. But I feel like 24 is a little too many. I've been playing a little bit off stream, so I wanted to cut a land. Tristan with the 11 months, appreciate you. Van Brew with the Twitch Prime as well. Thank you, Kuzan, appreciate you. So, no more Blood Moons of the main. I've never played Blood Moons of the main of this list. Blood Moon is also, not that good at Modern right now. Straight up. I think I'm probably supposed to hold up Terminate this turn and save the Kroxa as a good card to discard to Seasoned Pyromancer. Yeah, I've never played Blood Moon in the main of this list. You are mistaken. I was thinking since our curve is up to 3, mostly we'd like to run 21. It looks like it's not up to 3. We faked we have 6 4-drops here with the Tourachs and the Kroxas. Seasoned Pyromancer also gives us a lot of gas, and we also have a lot of utility lands with the Dens, the Shizo, Shinka, Sokenzan, Takenuma. So I'm pretty happy to be playing a lot of lands. Is this mono red burn? Burn matchup's pretty good. Voidwalker on top. Lava spikes me down to 17. Hopefully we can find a untapped black source for this Tourach next turn. This turn I'm just going to go discard Voidwalker, discard Kroxa. Okay, not too bad. It's got 5 cards in their hand. I imagine that they could obviously still be Boros Burn, I guess, with a really unusual draw with both basic mountains. I guess the Sunbait Canyon makes that more likely, but I kind of think they're probably just mono red, maybe playing Chandra's Incinerator, maybe not. Okay, there's my there's the black source I was wishing for. So imagine my opponent's going to cast a burn spell in response and go down to no cards in their hand. I think Shredder can help Grixis Shadow with keeping pace in the mid game. I do. I've been playing some Shredder Shadow. There's a lot of flexibility with how you can build the deck, but I do think Grixis Shadow with Shredder is viable. Alright, down to 7, and then they've got no cards in their hand, but it was just 2 lands, and they did have a double. They are Boros Burn with a double mountain draw. Eternity with the 4 months, appreciate you. Happy month anniversary, thank you. It's possible they're thinking of Hearst plus Moon deck that's a popular legacy. Yeah, maybe. It's a good guess. Alright, sacks the canyon. Plays the 3rd basic mountain. Just need some cleansing wildfires. So if they've drawn a red card, they can't play it. Is this an Eidolon? Searing Blaze. Okay, Searing Blaze is really good. So I'm at 4. I guess I should just actually escape the Kroxa. Escape the Kroxa, and this kills them next turn. I think. Down to 12, then tech them for 4, down to 8. Yeah. Kills them next turn, and then with no white source in play, they can't even top deck Boros. Charm isn't out. Okay, going to game 2 against Burn. I want to get these Thoughtseizes out of here if I can. I do usually Tourach in this matchup. 4 is kind of a lot, but I think it's probably okay. You can play the 3rd copy of Terminate. Hearst is probably not a card that shines very much in this matchup either. I also might want to play some Engineered Explosives to deal with Sanctifier and Vec. Explosives is not usually a card I like very much in against Burn, but having an extra out to Sanctifier is kind of nice. But I think one Thoughtseize, 1 Explosives. Working on Tamir Creativity, any advice for cyber cards against Living End and Murktide? I don't know that you want to bring in Chalice. We have 13 1-mana spells, which is like only a handful less than our opponents. I think you could bring it in. I think you could bring it in, but I think I'm going to elect not to. Yeah, for Temur Creativity, you could play Run Afoul, the opponent sacrifices a flying creature card in the sideboard potentially. You could also play... I guess Living End's kind of tough because you don't get access to... any of the artifact-based hate or like endurance either. So I guess you probably have to be on counter spells. My opponent led on a red source here. My hand is like exceptionally weak to Eidolon, so I think I'm going to Inquisition here. And I'll take the Spike. Because the Spike is an extra damage right now with the Swift Spear, but it's possible that I can like draw a removal spell and stop the Rift Bolt from being an extra damage with Swift Spear. What do you think about fitting Rocco and some Asmos into Domain? Well, I guess one awkward thing is like the card Asmo is a lot worse if you're going to play it in a deck like Domain that doesn't have access to Urza Saga. Like you can't really play Urza Saga in that deck, and like Asmo's like worse without Urza Saga. That being said, you could like try it. You could try it. I think that there's like that is definitely the start of an idea, you know. Joe bringing 2 Moon and 3 Explosives for Saga. Not every Urza Saga deck, but the Explosives are mostly in the sideboard for Sanctifier and Vec. That was the case like with Luris being legal too, but I think that without 3 Engineered Explosives, like Hammer Time is just so hard to beat because they play so many Sanctifiers in the sideboard still. For kind of no reason. I don't really know why they play so many Sanctifiers still. Like Forged Tinder is better against Murktide. I don't know, whatever. And Living End is really popular. And Sanctifier is bad against Living End, and like Dredge is nowhere to be found. But they do, you know, they do still just play a lot of Sanctifiers, and so I think it is important to have like a solid number of outs because they just play so many usually. Do you have a Vivian combo deck that works at all? I know that Andrea Mengucci, my hero, my sensei, has been working pretty hard on the archetype. You can go to Chain of Fireball. You can go to his Twitch, his YouTube, his Twitter, and find a good list. Maybe I could pull it up. I've been liking his 95, but I haven't been working on it at all. Yeah, he's got this is his list. It is I don't know how to describe it. 80 cards. It's like the 4-color blink deck, obviously, but you're playing less of the interaction that you usually see in favor of the Vivian combo, and I think the Vivian combo is quite good. And I also think that it typically will help you in the matchups that your archetype historically has struggled with too, which is nice. I really am interested in sniping that last card out of their hand. So I think I'm just gonna go Liliana plus discard Kroxa. Why did they bring in all these smash to smithereens? I don't understand. How does Vivian combo work? It's a bit convoluted, but if you have a Planesbound Accomplice and you put a Vivian into play, you get to go through a complicated loop to Kiki Jiki, Feldar Guardian, and make infinite hasty cats. Hey Doom, how's it going? I will be assembling the guest bed for Doomwake today. I think I'm just discarding push. Okay, draws a Sunbait Canyon, sacks main phase. Into Searing Blaze. Yeah, Searing Blaze would have been a really bad top deck without the Sunbait Canyon, unfortunately. Oh, sorry, I thought I was one card short of escaping. Guess this is gonna have to be fine. But kind of a similar spot to last time. I'm at 5. My opponent has to draw 2 burn spells, and I can kill them in 2 turns. So if they go runner, burn spell, I guess for toast. Liliana ultimate could keep my opponent off of 3 mana burn spell. Day limit to 14 months. Where is the Dreadbore? in the trade binder still. Yeah, Karmic Guide was in MH2 Mango. Going into a blind metagame, what would I suggest? Murktide or Asmo Food? I mean, I guess I would suggest Asmo Food, just where, like, I would want to have, like, some idea of the metagame if I'm going to register Murktide for a tournament, just because there are, like, a lot of metagame decisions you have to choose with your flex spots in your sideboard. I will say, though, the Asmo Food deck, I feel like, if you have, you make sure that you've played it, given like several practice rounds, because it takes a while to learn that deck, I think. And a VRP or mod redemption. do you have a preference already on VIP or mod? VIP me? Yeah, VIP has become very popular. It's like the new meta. Gabroth with the 28 months, thank you. Alright, dead to exactly Boros Charm off the top. Not exactly Boros Charm. Okay. Simon with the 10 months, appreciate you. Played Asmo Food yesterday, won the tournament, walked away with a Master Priest, Mana Crypt, hell yeah. Very red hand. I think we keep. Is there a possibility of Shredder being banned? No, I don't think so. I jokingly tweeted ban Ledger Shredder a few weeks ago. I thought it was kind of funny. A lot of people took it seriously. And one person even wrote a really impassioned speech about how players need to stop complaining about new cards and they need to learn how to adapt, and this is what's wrong with Magic. Comments like this. So then I replied, unban Ledger Shredder, and then that guy liked it. All right, pass back. Thoughts on Yawg in the current meta? I mean, I think Yawg is always good. I think Ed is just a god. Ed is just everything everyone should aspire to be. But yeah, I think the Yawg deck's a good deck. I think that there's probably like maybe even more so than Titan, if you spend the time to just like master the Yawgmoth deck, that is like something that you are like really incentivized and like really rewarded to do in Modern. It's just like sit down and master the Yawgmoth deck. All right, this Tourach is going to be nasty, and this is one of the main matchups to want to play red black over different red black X variants. Just the main deck Tourachs are so nasty, and it's hard to main deck Tourach in the 3-color decks. Although if they just find 2 counter spells, brutal. Oh wait, no, is this blue-white control? Oh, this is blue-white control. Yeah, I feel like the Hinterland Harbor threw me off, so it's actually banned. Okay, actually banned. Okay. So there's Prismatic Ending, Hinterland Harbor, new card. Sad to lose the Tourach, but I have a lot of gas in the hand still. They've got 3 cards. These are 2 of them. There's the Harbor. No Teferi off the top, thankfully for me. Love this Thoughtseize. Yeah, these Dins are always so good in the matchup for sure. Spiral. So I guess seeing a Spiral, Harbor, I'm imagining that my opponent is playing Bant Wilderness Reclamation. Deck that we have tried and failed to work on many times. Or tried and failed to make like a good version. I think I'm channeling here. I know that Din is more damage, but this gets more permanent tokens in play. Okay. Opponent's also top decking. Ooh, the hearse. Maybe I should just discard the hearse, get him with Din. I think that's actually better. Well, way worse into a memory deluge. Whatever. I think this is still fine. Good deck tech for Booba. Oh. Grixis Reanimator. Okay, so we played a similar shell to this on stream recently. Hold on, let me take this turn real quick. Could pull up the list I had. Oh, I should just ultimate this. Should have ultimated it already. But so I've kind of worked on this shell in the past. This like more creature focused shell of Reanimator, where you have like this like card selection / beatdown game plan with cards like Shredder, Channeler, and then I've also like really liked Kaito as a card to supplement this plan as a discard outlet that can be card advantage when you're attacking with creatures. And I also like to play Insolent Neonative Moon Circuit Hacker, get a little bit of like a ninjutsu kind of sub theme going on. Yeah. Mega punished for not minusing first. Classic deck tech. We can take a little bit of a closer look at this here. Like, one thing I really dislike about building the deck this way is like, I think that when you build the deck this way and you have 2 Fatal Push, 4 Unholy Heat, 1 Bone Shards, 4 Counterspell. Like, my issue with having these cards, I guess if I attack with the Den and then they just block the Goblin token, it doesn't really accomplish anything. So I'll just get back Seasoned Pyromancer tokens here, chill. It's like, when you're playing all these 1-for-1s, right? You have Heats, Push, Bone Shards, Counterspells. Your deck is full of 1-for-1s. But then your deck also has Archon of Cruelty, and it has Persist, and you have like this reanimation plan that's one will give you a higher density of clunky draws, and like makes you more vulnerable to 1-for-1s. When you're playing a deck like this and you're playing a pile of 1-for-1s yourself, you're kind of just playing into your opponent's game plans a lot of the time, if that makes sense. I have to take that Wandering Emperor. I don't know if I'm articulating myself super well, but when, like, your deck is not going to be as good as you want it to be at I wanted to leave up this so I could draw Bolt for the Solitude. Didn't have any hard dual lands. Yeah, your deck is not going to be as good as 1-for-1ing your opponent as most of your opponent's decks are. So playing into it this way with all these 1-for-1s, I think is not a very good plan. I think that's a good way to summarize the point. But it definitely doesn't feel like a super obvious thing. But that's kind of my attitude towards deck building like this. Kroxa is a sick draw. So like, I think that if you want to play the Shredder Reanimator deck, you can play Snapcaster potentially, but you need it to be more of like a filtering card than it is here as like a just like an efficient 1-for-1. And like, you need to be playing like, I think like Thoughtseize Counterspell, maybe not even Counterspell, but like Thoughtseize like to proactively push your combo through, while occasionally letting you discard yourself. I think is pretty important. Like, not play almost any targeted removal spells. Main deck, you can play some sideboard, in my opinion. I think you need some Kaitos in the 75, main deck or sideboard. You know, obviously, like, I could just recommend, I'll post this list in the chat, like what I had, very simple here. This is what I was playing in a very similar shell. You can take a look and get some ideas there. So kind of hard to not like give more than like loose thoughts and I like ideas of why I like to build the deck this way for a build like this, when I don't want to just be like build it my way. I want to tell you why I like to build it a different way. Okay, discard Wilderness Reclamation. If I attack with everything, they block a token. Maybe trade a token and they take 5. I'll just attack with the Spyro. Bistidro, what's the logic behind main deck Hearse? Main deck Hearse is good. Hearse is a good modern card. It's just a good card in general. But that being said, there's not like a huge range of decks that are like that both want like this slow, grindy, big creature / graveyard hate and can crew it well. But Black Red Rock is like definitely one of those few decks that I think meets the hard qualifications here. So I'm gonna cast one of these pre-combat. And then I'm going to try to go to combat and try to give this Fear. Kroxa on the top of my library. Okay, we will put that on top. Attack with everything. Block, take 4. Isn't there a lot of tension between Hearse and Voidwalker? People say these kind of things a lot. Like, Voidwalker does not have really tension with Hearse, in my opinion. Maybe some small tension, but like the reality, what's great about Voidwalker is if it's ever awkward that you have Drought in your hand and Voidwalker in play, or Hearse in play and Voidwalker in play, you can just sack the Voidwalker for some value, and then your Hearse is unlocked. Like you have complete control over it too. So it's just not something I'm really worried about. Okay, so up a game against Bant's Control. Great to win game 1 when we are going to be able to cut a lot of dead removal spells. Probably want to go down at least 1 Hearse. Bring in extra Tourach, Boil. Needle is interesting. Like, we could just by name Shark Typhoon, and then they're probably going to have some number of Planeswalkers as well. Bring in the Kolaghan's command. Then I guess it's kind of tough. Maybe I have to play the Hearse. Maybe I have to play an Ashiok. I don't really like Ashiok so much in these matchups. Yeah, it just has to be Hearse, actually. Yeah, Solitude has lifelink, so wasn't lethal if we swung out. Well, we got a Boil, so we're never mulliganing. Double Thoughtseize Boil on the draw. I'll keep it. I'll keep it. Wow, what a top deck. Hearse is also, I guess, kind of good against Supreme Verdict, too, huh? No way! And we exiled the Nexus of Fate. Oh, dude, this Ragavan card's so pretty good, huh? And they don't have green mana for Veil of Summer. Everything is turning up Aspiring Spike, huh? Although they don't have enough as many islands as maybe I would hope. Okay, their turns next turn's will be good. I can't take all their 3-drops. I could take both Charms, or I could take Teferi Charm, or I could take Teferi Veil. Yeah, I think I'd take Teferi Charm, and then... if they could steal the Ragavan, then I can just cast Seasoned Pyromancer and, like, not really care about the Ragavan so much. Yeah, all these non-islands into Boil is kind of sad, though, for sure. Maybe I discard the Boil? I think I'll discard Hearse Tourach. Keep Tourach Boil. No land. Oh, that's pretty bad. Alright. Turntables be turning, huh? So now they have Veil up. Important to know about. So I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to Liliana and try to pressure the Veil in the hand a little bit. Their hand is currently Growth Spiral, Veil of Summer, Mystery card. You have to keep the 4-drops. The 4-drops are just too good here. Could be like a little cowardly to leave back both elemental tokens, but sometimes, you know, you gotta play a little cowardly. Okay, here, I think with 2 4-drops in my hand, 2 really good 4-drops, I'm pretty incentivized to just edict the Ragavan away. Although that's bad. Yeah, and play around Solitude very well. Okay, 2 cards in hand. Liliana down. Good morning, Ryan. Into wreck. Well, I think I'm supposed to go for Tourach hitting their last card before I Boil, especially because we maybe let them draw an island. Okay. 3rd Charm. Why not Tourach without kicker, since we have Lily in play anyways? My opponent's got cards in their hand. Like, in this matchup, you usually want to kicker the Tourach, but... So, yeah, I guess maybe post-combat Tourach to keep Liliana alive. Sorry, that was probably better. Yeah, you're right. So I can probably gonna have to Den, kill Teferi, ping them for 1. They can't quite activate the Hall yet. Although this makes things a bit more interesting. I could go kill Teferi, bring back Tourach, cast Tourach. Could dash Ragavan too. Like dashing Ragavan doesn't do very much though. I think I should probably just Den. Why Din over Sokenzan? We have 1 Sokenzan, which is a legendary land, and 3 Din of the Bugbears. you don't want to play more than like one of these legendary channel lands in my experience. I think I'm gonna go attack with this goblin token, see what my opponent does, and I'll likely just go upkeep. Okay, I have another Solitude. Oh, Wandering Emperor? Okay, so I guess we're gonna go draw step, kill Solitude. Make them discard. And then bolt the Emperor, leave them with the 2/2. Or, right now, kill the Samurai token. Return Tourach. Or kill Solitude, return Tourach. Kill Wandering Emperor, return Tourach. I think I like kill Samurai token, return Tourach, and then just bolt the Wandering Emperor. And we could potentially take 10 if they draw untap land. Draw step, kill Solitude, discard, plays around another Emperor. Yeah. So if we're looking at multiple decks for Dallas. Yeah, we kind of went over the lineup a little bit this morning, but the decks I'm considering are this deck, Murktide, Blue-Red Shredder Phoenix, Esper Food, potentially Blue-Black Shadow Murktide, potentially Control variant too. You would think I'd be a bit more ready, but I'm not, to be honest. Okay, I think it's a bit greedy, but I like that Boyle keeps them off Hall of the Storm Giants for like several turns here. They've got no cards in the hand. Cuts them off green as well. And I could chump block the Solitude if they don't draw a removal spell, and then I get to like start to pull ahead on board. There'll be Phoenix, maybe. I really like the Phoenix deck too. So I'm gonna try to be playing a lot of these like these first few days, and like I would like to like figure out what I'm playing by like at least Thursday, because I think I'm taking the Friday off. Typhoon? Okay. Don't have too many ways to kill this post board. Okay, game 3. Beat a ton of Brewers advantage on 12 bird. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, this is kind of the problem, right? Where I think if I wasn't, you know, if I wasn't a streamer, if I wasn't like posting these lists, I'll play one tournament, I think. I agree I'd be like really excited to play 12 bird, but I just don't know like how much of a known quantity it is, because I've been hyping it up, I've been streaming it a lot. It's kind of a weird dynamic, you know. Hopefully the Boyle's better this time. I'm not saying that I like won't play it because of that, but and I think for the most part I'm probably just supposed to like mostly ignore that aspect of deck selection. I think I could take the ending. 12 bird or 8 bird? 8 bird, sorry. How to do Saturday? It did pretty well. I think we finished 5-3, but we had a pretty good tournament overall. Like two of our losses were like Dimir Food and like Pyre of Heroes Humans, but like we were crushing like the established decks, and I'm pretty happy with how the deck's performing. Okay, I guess Rip is good against hers, huh? Oh yeah, Rest in Peace also beats the Voidwalker. No, the Rest in Peace beats Voidwalker. Just period. But this card's Dress Down. If only they had Dress Down in response. So hand, it should be Flooded Strand, Solitude, Wilderness Reclamation. If I could draw a land before they draw a counter spell, I can. Oh, dude, They didn't get an island. Oh no. I guess that makes sense because they got the Solitude in their hand. Okay, there's my land though. Upkeep Boil. Poor Bant Trio making this deck maybe a little bit more Boil prone. Immediately untaps. Alright, let's go for the throat here. Yeah, what's kind of weird about Rip and Voidwalker is, yes, that's how it should work. Your opponent should have the choice to put a Void counter on it. But Magic Online actually doesn't give you the choice. It always just Rest in Pieces them instead. Which is probably for the best, because you should always choose Rest in Peace instead of Voidwalker. But you do technically have the choice, which is kind of weird. That you can't choose. I need to start planning for it. I was talking about maybe trying to live stream it. I know I always do this. Like, one, you know, I've been spending a lot of money getting stuff for the house, so like, I don't know that the equipment for the Dreamhack stuff is in the budget. And then I also don't know that I'll be able to get it all in time, but I could try. And then I have Esther a pass too. Esther's gonna go with me, and then Doomwake's going too. So I think that could be fun as well. But then, like, I don't want Esther to just be like bored and chilling by herself during the tournament play, so like I would probably want to like buy a pass for a friend of hers to hang out with us too. And I also know that Esther's probably gonna say something something dumb on stream because she has like zero filter. So if we do, oh dude, Urborg is so good for me, holy crap. If she does come stream the event with me, I apologize for anything that she says. A friend of mine sent me a video of Esther, like from like the beginning of our relationship. It's like 3 or 4 years ago, when like you know, we're hanging out, we're partying, and she's, you know, she's kind of toasty, and she's sitting down, and there's a piece of chocolate cake in front of her, and she like briefly like looks around for a fork or a knife. Doesn't take very long, but does at least pretend to make an effort to look. Sees that there's not one there, and just like mouth first, right into the cake. Not that that's like, you know, exactly what I was getting at, but she's just very very free. I guess I should. Yeah, I want to hit my opponent so I can Tourach next turn. It's kind of interesting. I guess just 8 rack. Yeah, so now I'm gonna lose the Ragavan to like one of these discard effects. But I'll just like bolt the Liliana after they make them plus. Why do you think we haven't been seeing much of this deck lately compared to other former Lurrus or Blacklist? Well, I mean, the biggest one is like this archetype did take a big hit when they banned Lurrus, but it's also definitely the case, like, even when Lurrus was legal, like, Red-Black was just criminally underplayed. Like, it was, like, I had like an insane win rate with it, and for one reason or another, like, the deck just never picked up in popularity, which is how it goes a lot of the time. Like, a deck will be good and viable, but just not popular. And at the end of the day, for a deck to be tier or whatever, to some extent, it has to become popular at some point. Thoughts on Aper deck after challenge? I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Like, I think, like, our losses, like Dimir Food, I punted pretty bad. The matchup's maybe not that good either. We lost to a weird humans deck. I'm okay taking that L. We did really well against most of the established tier decks. I like the deck a lot. I believe in it. What is Apebird? It is a blue-red prowess deck featuring Ledger, Shredder, and Arc-like Phoenix that I've been working on and liking it a lot. Can Kroxa accrue a Hearst response to ETB? Yes, it should be able to. Okay, so up against 8 rack. I think I'm gonna cut the Thoughtseizes, probably still leaving Inquisitions. I feel like I'm gonna be able to Needle Nile Spellbomb. Probably want to play like 2 Tourachs. Want to bring in the Kolaghan's Command. I feel like a couple of explosives are probably good. Maybe all 3. These Terminates probably aren't that good though. I guess they have Voidwalker, but I still have like Lightning Bolt, Fatal Push. They're also a Saga deck, so I guess I'll bring in the Moons too. Yeah, the Evasive Surgeries are for living in / other Cascade decks. It can also come in against like Belcher. But like the reality is, I think that is like of the big tier meta decks, the matchup I'm scared of when I'm playing 8-Bird. So I wanted to respect it with a lot of sideboard cards. Let's keep this in the draw. I have the opinion that Voidwalker is a better threat than Goyf right now. I don't know. It's a different threat. Like, Goyf is better against Murktide, and probably better against Hammer too, because it being green is really relevant. I usually find that Voidwalker is better against like Oddmath and Living End. They're very close. They play pretty differently overall too. Humans nearly won a... Sorry, I was looking for the... I forgot some of the Jessica Bloodstone deck. But Humans nearly won a local tournament here in London. Got a few results. Do you think recent upgrades made it much better? I do think that the recent upgrades from Humans are significant upgrades. I felt like this since like last trophy race too, that Humans is just kind of still an underplayed deck and like a totally like reasonable, viable deck too that just isn't that popular for one reason or another. I will also say, like, you know, my experience even before like MH2, before 2019-2020 design, Humans has always been a oddly underrepresented deck on Magic Online. This is something that it was like a really weird phenomenon that Humans was like constantly taking down SCGs. It was always placing well at like, you know, bigger tournaments, and then on Magic Online, like it just like wasn't there. And I don't really know why this was the case, but it definitely did feel like the case. Ooh, love to draw land and get to EE on 1 here. Alright. It's because a lot of the MPL rivals, like players, like playing Humans and GP stuff. Yeah, I suppose that is. Oh, should I hold on? I should prop this explosives first. Let me see if I get priority back. But I've already passed it, so they can just pass it back. Can't they make some things easier on MTGO? Are you referencing something specific here? Is this the list that we lost through the Humans list? Yeah, he was playing four Pyres. If I knew that there was 4 Pyres, I would have brought in all the grudges. Excuse me, sorry. Shocked from all the Pyres. Yeah, this is the list we lost to in like round 5. That's, I guess, top rated. Cool. We lost to the Judith. Ooh, sorry. We lost to the Judith. It was crazy. It's an awesome match. I'm just getting stun locked. Allergies, like just allergies. Me, I've been like pretty stuffed up on and off, like really ever since I moved in. But it's also that time of the year. Been like popping antihistamines, and they've been helping. I'm feeling like a lot better than I was, but I still have some lingering congestion. This hand's kind of bad with no 1-drops, but I'm gonna keep. So spins, crashing footfalls, interesting. Rhino's historically kind of a weird, close, not close, I don't know. Like, Voidwalker can be good if it lives, where you get to cast a Rhinos off the Voidwalker, but doesn't live that often. Kroxa can be kind of giant. It's just kind of a weird matchup overall. What was my verdict from playing Narset instead of Jace and Blue-Red sideboards? Did I only bring it against Blue-White? It was mostly for the Omnath matchup. Like, Narset is a way better, is like maybe the best sideboard card you can play as Blue-Red Murktide against Omnath. It's like, it's either like that or Disputes or like some combination of those cards, but it is like really strong in those matchups, and like I think is pretty criminally underplayed. Okay, brutal to get iced against a hand of all 2-drops. Think creativity is unplayable? No, I think it's just like one of those decks that people will only play for like a weekend after it does well at a tournament, but is always going to be like a somewhat viable deck that is underrepresented in my opinion. People just like kind of only people only like play that deck after it does well a weekend rather than like giving it the love it deserves. I think. Gonna ice me again. GG's won. GG's. Mono Black Wreck looks pretty sick. Yeah, so I like playing the Voidwalker here because it basically forces my opponent to kill it before they cascade. So if they draw a land and then they have the option to like Charlotte's Agent or Violent Outburst or kill Voidwalker, they kind of have to kill the Voidwalker here. Do you ever activate Narset in the matchup? I think you should activate it. Yeah, you do need to get the cards off of it. And if you go like Narset minus, get a card, and they Fury it, like you've gotten a 3-for-1. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. How dare you treat my pet deck as Suga for Pioneers should be banned. Yeah, dude. That freaking tweet. I even prefaced it, warning, opinion on a format, and people are still losing their minds. Do you already own all the cards you're considering this weekend? No, I'm missing some. Like, I think I'm all actually like missing some for like a lot of the decks. I ordered all the cards for food, but they haven't gotten here yet. They should get here before the tournament, but they may not. We'll see. Yeah, I ordered all the cards for food. Like in this deck, I'm missing like I think only unlicensed hearse. I can get 2 hearses. I have most of the cards for the decks I'm playing, but I'm also loaning my friend a Jund deck, and I'm trying to convince him not to play Bloodbraid Alpha Nurturing Peatland, but that's kind of a different thing. I'm loaning him Jund, and then if I end up wanting to play like Ragavans and stuff, then like I have to like figure out how to get him the cards too. It's gonna be a whole thing. Peatland's fine. He's playing 2 though. You can play 1. You can play 1. I really don't like 2, but I don't like any of them. Kebab with the 8 months. Appreciate you. Good upkeep. Terminated Rhino here. Yeah, I think you can get away with 1 Peatland. I still don't like it. I think it's too painful to mana base. I also just really like the 1 mana cycle lands. They're way better with Red and 6 anyways. Oh, that's fine. I'm gonna do manufacture math and paper. Excuse me, sorry. It shouldn't be that hard on paper, right? It's just like 3, 9, 27, and then you never have to worry about 4. If I have 4 manufactors, then it's kind of like... then I agree, it's kind of a lot. Spyro seems really good to set up for Kroxa next turn. I could also like potentially Voidwalker Dead Gone on the Rhino. Also obviously have this push. But I think I'm going to leave up the Voidwalker. I thought 4 manufacturers was 27. You know, 3 is 27 and then 4 is 81. Is there a clip of making 81? There should be, yeah. Oh, that was the clip. Oh man, I wanted to post that to YouTube. I remember that like there was a clip I wanted to post to YouTube, special, and I forgot that was it. That was the clip. Yeah, very fortunate my opponent hasn't drawn a land after double ice too. Thoughts about 8 birds at the challenge? Good, bad, medium. I like the deck. I believe in it. I vote good. It's obviously close. It's obviously still early. Obviously, like, there is a difference between good and best choice for a tournament. But I am seriously considering it for this weekend's tournament, too. It is a deck I believe in. Gone is bounce rate. Oh, I missed your sub-message, Cabal. Don't you know for the Swedish Championship Modern one just goes list? Oh yeah, someone said that earlier, but I haven't seen the list yet. Nobody sent me the list, so I'd love to see it though. But we did hear. I think Just Go Lotus Field is a great deck too. I was really happy with that choice for SCG Dallas. I actually still have like I think I still have it sleeved up too, so I could that would if I ended up choosing that for the tournament. They're main decking Foundation Breaker? What the heck? It would be very convenient if I ended up choosing that to play. Professor, the 3 months, appreciate you. Bird Lawyer is slowly hitting 30. Well, I guess I feel less bad for buying them at 20. I don't know. I don't feel bad. I was not buying any Magic cards for the move, but I remember like really wanting to buy some, but I was like I have to stay disciplined for Esther. I was very graciously gifted one from a friend though, who won't take it back now that it's spiked in price. I'm in a horrible polite fight with all my stupid friends all the time. It's out of control. He's like, oh, I never play Magic anymore. I just bought a box for fun. You should take the Shredder and anything else you want out of the box. I'm like, please, Jaren, please don't. Oh, I did give him a playmat. I gave him a playmat. He won the fight though. So they drew a land. They are dead. Dead. Well, weird game. Opponent stuck on 2 lands forever. This matchup is very weird. Like sometimes it feels like you're absolutely crushing them. Like or Voidwalker and Ragavan and Kroxa can all line up really well against them, and sometimes it feels like you never have a chance. It is like just like it, and then I think you also have like a lot of sideboard cards too. So I don't know. I've historically like been of the belief that we're like slight favorites in this matchup, but it's definitely like a weird dynamic. Regime with 2 freaking years. I found you 3 years ago playing Blue-White Control and telling chat search for this content wasn't playable in Modern. Time flies. That's for helping me through freshman junior of college. Thank you, Regime. Good luck, I guess, in your post-college life, huh? It's great. It's so beautiful to see kids grow up. Probably cutting the hearses too. Play 2 Tourach. Looks like a good sideboard plan. And then VG land with the 4 months. Thank you. Sideboard play for this matchup had the nudge on the 3rd land. It gets we're way better post board with double Void Mirror, Chalice, triple Engineered Explosives. Why is this deck called Rock? So there was a old black-green mid-range deck called The Rock and His Minions, which referred to Deranged Hermit or Plague, Phyrexian Overlord, something. I don't fucking know. Old cards that nobody cares about. And I'm going to keep this. referred to a couple old cards that nobody cared about, and the name Rock has kind of evolved to kind of expand beyond that definition, where now it more so refers to a black-based mid-range deck that uses discard spells, cheap removal, backed up by efficient threats to win the game. Bolt out. No, I actually usually like to keep in bolts, where a lot of times, like, you will bring in all these extra sideboard cards, right? You'll bring in your Void Mirrors and your explosives, and then you're just dying to Brazen Borrowers, you're dying to Furies and stuff. Ice, ice. Oh, I thought Rock was a black-green thing. Yeah, some people like to think that Rock is just black-green, but I feel like this deck plays so similarly to like the black-green Rock decks of tradition that I like to call this deck Rock too. I even feel like you could have a mono black deck be Rock. I don't think that. I think that is. I just view it as black-based mid-range decks with discard spells and efficient threats. All right, Fury into Cascade is gonna be rough here. Kind of looks like they have it. Worst case scenario. Okay, Justice suspends the Crashing Footfalls. Can't be upset with that. And then here, I think I'm just gonna go cast Ragavan, cast Voidwalker. Spike is Bolt over Push. I've been really liking Bolt. I mean, we have a 3-2 split at the moment, but I've been actually liking Lightning Bolt a lot in Modern lately. It's obviously like kind of a small topic, and you know, you could spend hours and hours a night arguing in the Black Red Rock Discord about what's better, Bolt or Push, what the best split is. But I've been liking Bolt a lot lately. I think that you need to maintain some density of like aggressive draws. It's also part of like your sideboard plan against blue-white control to leave in the bolts. And so if you play more pushes than bolts, like I think you have either one like truly dead card in the blue-white matchup, or you have an Ashiok, which I don't really like Ashiok very much in those matchups. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Doc. But you cannot have Dimir Rock. I actually think you can have Dimir Rock, but you can't be playing counter spells. You know what I mean? I do think you can have a blue-black based Rock deck that doesn't play counter spells. You have to be on discard spells. And I will say, I don't think I've ever seen like a true Dimir Rock deck, but maybe I've seen some Grixis Rock decks in the past. I'll cast Violent Outburst. Spin to win. Okay. Little info. Oh, this looks like just like the... This looks like my exact same 75, although... I feel bad. You should be playing 3 Coast and only 2 Canal, I think. That was a recent change I made. I didn't like talk about too much, but I don't think I've streamed the deck since I made that change, but that was what I was doing on paper. I might also like want to be on 3 Chalice mains right now with all the Murktide I'm living in, although I feel like I'm probably also overestimating the amount of Murktide that there is, since I don't know, I just keep going. I just feel like I keep going, there's so much Murktide, and I just keep like not actually playing against it that often. So Footfalls. Is this a suspend counter or a void counter? That's a void counter. So let me cast my own Footfalls. And then I think I just kick the Tourach, get the Foundation Breaker out of their hand. How do you think this deck is against Burn? I think you're favored against Burn. We beat Burn round 1. This deck I used to think was a like pretty heavy favorite against Burn back when Lurrus was around, where like Lurrus just gave you so much inevitability. But I still think that a combination of Painless Mana Base, Kroxa, Tourach, Ragavan, all these cards are really good against Burn. I think like the combination of these cards is Gives you a solid matchup. Okay. I think I'm just sending in here. Back to Darcy. I'm actually not playing DRC in this list. Like, I think that your curve is too low if you play DRC, as much as I do have like an admitted like soft spot for the card in this archetype. But yeah, we are playing, you know, the evolution of the red black Lurrus deck that was our breadwinner in the trophy race days. So my opponent does get to cascade into, or they get to suspend Rhinos next turn, but I can Voidwalker for 2 more Rhinos and be ahead on the old Rhino race. Unless my opponent draws a burn spell, obviously. Kogi, the 14 months, appreciate you. I deck tech my Canadian Highlander deck sometime for kicks. I would like, you know, look at it and like laugh at it with you and give you no good feedback that would be useful to you. But I would, yeah. I would do it for kicks. Oh, that was a very good top deck for my opponent. Okay, big draw step for me. Kind of classic, right? Well, at least the Thoughtseize got to be good. I'm going to play this because of Seasoned Pyromancer. What are merits to this deck versus Rakdos Scam decks? Well, they're pretty different. I would say that this deck has more consistency, and the red-black Scam deck has a higher power level with less consistency. I do think that there is a lot of merit to being a more consistent deck overall, however, in this archetype. Oh, dude, that Violent Outburst couldn't even cascade into any Rhinos. Slam to 14 months, 11 months, appreciate you. You had a 2-turn clock with the first Dauthi, but dead to removal and bolt. Yeah, that's why I thought I was better to cast the Rhinos, but maybe closer than I thought. We're not attacking here. I guess we should have. Explosives? No. Okay, going to game 3 on the play. What is Rakdos Scam? It's Rakdos deck that plays Grief Fury and then like the Undying effects to bring them back. That deck is pretty powerful for sure. I haven't played very much of it. Why is it called Scam? I don't know. Like, so, like the thing about like deck names is sometimes you'll have like a goofy inside joke part of the name stick, but it's really hard to force it. Just kind of like naturally becomes a collective inside joke. It's hard to trace the origins of it sometimes too. Top 80, yes. Yeah, I think the deck's good. What has me reaching for Asterix the meta? Amulet Tron. Mostly Amulet, but you also like, I also like do bring it in against Living End, and it's kind of nice to have it for Living End because you have so many like dead removal spells game 1, but it is mostly a sideboard card for Titan. It's maybe the case I shouldn't be playing it, but we can mess with the sideboard some. Is E the only answer to Sanctifier? We have Liliana also, but I think you usually side out at least one Liliana post-board against Hammer Time. I mean, 3 Engineered Explosives post-board for Sanctifier I feel like is enough. You also have Discard spells. You know, your red-black deck, you're going to be kind of soft to it. Going to be kind of soft to Sanctifier. Well, you never mulligan this one. Kind of heavy on the Rhinos hate, but obviously keep. Is Lily good since they don't have Force? Well, why do we think they don't have Force? I kind of think I still take the Age. Maybe take Fury. Yeah, I don't really care about the Foundation breaking my Void Mirror since I have 2 explosives in my hand. Yeah, Charlotte's blocking Ragavan's why I want to take it. Exactly. You've seen that Titan Transmog deck's been kicking around Pioneer. Seems like more than a meme. Yeah, I tuned into, I think, Doomwake's stream on on a Saturday, and he was playing against the green-red Transmogrify Titan deck, and that deck looks awesome. I love it. I was with Hitachi Common Breaker, just got back this week. Yeah, I watched. I only got to watch the end of Hitashi's stream, but it was very hype. I don't really understand Guilty Gear. Like I don't understand like the matchup dynamics or whatever. But I do like to watch Hitachi play. And, it was definitely very hype. Big congrats to him for the top 8. Or it was top 4, right? It was top 4. Is the stream name just because this is deck you're playing at Dreamhack? It's more so like I want to get people prepped for the mindset that this week is me kind of focusing on prepping for Dreamhack. This is one of like the 5 or 6 decks I'm considering, and I feel like I have a lot of work to do. I'm trying to figure out which deck I'm playing. Suspends another Footfalls. Love that. Suspends another Footfalls! Whoa. Okay. Okay, so we can go dash Ragavan, and then bait out the Foundation Breaker on the Void Mirror next turn, and then just like chalice him. Agree with Urza Saga this type of deck. Urza Saga is not good in this deck. It is one, like you don't have any synergistic pieces to tutor, and you don't also really have you don't have synergistic like powerful single cards like Colossus Hammer or Amulet of Vigor to tutor. You also don't have I know that usually you're supposed to play Chalice before Void Mirror, by the way, but they have Foundation Breakers, so I'm just kind of baiting it here. Just trying to time walk them. And then also, like, you don't have that many artifacts, so your tokens are really small, and you get embarrassed in like opposing Urza Saga matchups where your opponent has Urza Saga and you don't. And you don't have Ren and 6 to return Saga, so you don't have the added synergy there. And you're playing Urza Saga is a colorless land in your Voidwalker, Seasoned Pyromancer, Kroxa, Tourach deck, where like the colorless land is really, really rough on the mana. So I am very much of the opinion that that is not a card you want to play in this deck. Should use Chalice's bait because the mirror stops pitch spells. I think with me knowing about the Foundation Breaker and me like wanting to like use mana this turn and then maybe top deck something to or hit something with Ragavan that I can use my mana on next turn and then like just have to spend 0 on the Chalice. I think that makes more sense. I guess I should play this now too. They still have the Fury in their hand, which is kind of scary. Yeah, we can't EE for 0, but EE for 0 does not matter until Chalice of the Void is removed. Because like as long as Chalice is in play, my opponent's not going to put anything into play for me to EE on 0. Yeah, I think this is a pretty serious threat. Although I guess no, playing the Borrower plays into their Fury too much. Yeah, you can EE for 0 with Cairns, but like you also like even if you don't have Cairns in the spot, you don't need to care because the only way you're going to want to EE on 0 is if they kill your Chalice, and if they kill your Chalice, you can EE on 0. Void Mirror seems worse if they hold Beseiju for the Rhino's turn. We can't play EE or Chalice. Well, no, right? Because like if they Beseiju my Void Mirror, I get to untap an EE and then Chalice, right? Like if they unlock the Rhinos, they're unlocking my explosives. And I also know that they have like Foundation Breaker and they're really incentivized to play it. So I just like really wanted to incentivize them to use their mana that turn for that. So it is Fury mystery card. Doesn't seem like they found a land here. I can maybe cast my explosives into my Chalice here so that I can escape Kroxa. How do you E for 0 with Cairns? So what you do is you tap Cairns for colorless, then you cast explosives with a mana value of 1. So it has a mana value of 1, not 0, so Chalice doesn't counter it. But when it enters with a number of counters equal to the colors spent to cast the spell. And the number of colors spent to cast the spell is 0, because you spent colorless. So yeah, I can go... I can go... Chalice, Explosives, Mire, Kroxa. And if my opponent has drawn Brazen Borrower or Beseiju, we probably lose. So let's like not just lose a game we're otherwise really ahead in. Could you have cast the bounce part on your Chalice? No, you could only petty theft your opponent's spells. But if you do cast petty theft, you do get the adventure half later. That is true, but I didn't have a target for petty theft. So then it's Fury, 2 mystery cards. I smell an Endurance. Endurance would be pretty bad. Alright, looks like your sniffer's working, huh? Activate Den. Well, it's also like not great. I guess maybe better into the Endurance, huh? I'll just E on 3 here. Again, I don't want to play the Ragavan into the Fury. Peppermint, 6 months. Red Blood Death doesn't work with Charm, and Peeling feels worse than Lance with Cycling. Yeah. Yeah, that is my opinion. I'm trying to convince my buddy, but we'll see what happens. Ultimately, you know, you gotta go to a tournament and play the list you like the most, and it's more important than listening to your friends. Learn the lessons the hard way. So I think I'm not popping the explosives yet, because I might need to save this treasure token to E on 3 again. The Endurance was so good. They still have 1 card in their hand. Yeah, we just pass back here. Oh my gosh, I did not mean to shock in the freaking Blood Crypt. Yikes. I don't know how I was able to read the Endurance. I mean, you just like imagine what the worst possible case was, and it was there. Well, my opponent has nothing, then Ragavan Den wins. I think I have to go for it. Put 8 cards, we dodge. I have 2 cards in hand. Get the Goblin token. We have Bolts in the deck. Kroxa in the deck. No Endurance. Yeah, they're not. So I guess they're not dead to this attack, but putting them to 1 is also like very nice. Especially nice when there's a fire on top. They could have Force of Negation though. It's giving Ragavan Fear Valid Line? No, because this gives First Strike, not Fear. Okay, we are 4-1. Let's get a trophy prediction going. Very good first league back with Rakdos. Which is like, you know, the whole stream. Me playing decks that I think have potential that other people just kind of aren't working on. I'm going to play this deck at Dallas when I have the leads. Any suggestions? Alright, unironically, for the first time, or not first time, just play like 3 Kolaghan's commands, you'll be fine. Alright, take the amulets. Don't usually mind this matchup too much. This is new old John, right? Just 1-for-1s for some sauce. I mean, yes, but also like you can play like Jund, regular Jund mid-range too, and it's fine. Am I just done trying to brew a new control list? Of course not. I am never done working on a specific archetype, but I don't know, like, I haven't, like, just diving into the control decks, it takes a lot of time, and at the very least, I just kind of I've had other irons in the fire I've been more interested in, if that makes sense. So I think I need to pressure my opponent's hand so they can't just go land, Titan next turn. And then next turn I could potentially go Bolt Grazer or cash in the Liliana to Edict the Dryad. Okay, that is no longer an option. But it is always nice to be in spots like this where you get your Titan opponent hellbent and they don't have 6 mana. So I think we just play Tourach and then we can go like block Dryad, Bolt Dryad. And that's 2 more cards in the yard for Kroxa, and then we can discard whatever we draw to cast the Kroxa. Love for my opponent to draw Titan this turn. No, activate Lily. I mean, if I activate Lily, I have to discard a card and my opponent doesn't. So, yeah, I just think it's better to not activate. The secret hidden mode on Liliana, do nothing. Okay, so they are not going to end their turn with any cards in the hand. We do get to escape a Kroxa. There's a lot of pressure on my opponent. But you know, they are now in top deck Titan territory. Don't you bolt something and plus? I can't get rid of the Dryad if I bolt something and plus. And this block also lets me escape Kroxa next turn. I think that this was the best line. Killing the Dryad is way better than killing either of these somethings. I just start clearing through these grazers. Okay. Bricked again. Get first strike the Tourach and have it not trade with Azusa. If I was going to a big modern tournament, what deck would I take right now? Plus why? Well, that's what I'm kind of trying to figure out. I do have a big modern tournament this weekend. I'm considering this deck, Esper Food, Murktide, a Shredder Phoenix, 8-Bird, whatever you want to call that deck. Jeskai Lotus Field, Mono Black Reanimator are like the main list on my mind at the moment. I've kind of just been in like brew mode for the last like forever. I don't know. I've been in brew mode for a while, and so like kind of pivoting into like playtesting the brews more and trying to figuring out exactly what we're playing this weekend is a bit of a different mindset. So I've got that in the title to kind of illustrate we're in a slightly different mindset this week. Okay, so let's cut the hearses. Kolaghan's Command. The Lightning Bolts. For these 6 cards, I believe this is the sideboard plan exactly. No, we got 2 more cards to cut. Oh, it's 1 Inquisition and either in 3rd Kroxa, yeah. Try out the Body Double Reanimator. I really just like Body Double Reanimator. It's like, let's take Reanimator, add like a lot of goofy combo cards that I don't think even make you... I just like, reanimating an Archon is enough to win most of the time. And then it's like, the Body Double combo is so weak to Graveyard Hate, and there's so much Graveyard Hate right now. I just not a big fan. Okay, his hand folds to a Grazer, but I think we have to keep. I guess we could terminate the Grazer. This is a deck I'm planning to bring to my regional qualifier. I think it's a good choice. I think it's a reasonable, solid choice, yeah. I don't know that it is necessarily the best choice. That's something I'm obviously trying to determine for myself for the Dreamhack. I think that it is like underplayed, underconsidered too. Although one thing about Rakdos though, it's not like it's not, you know, people are going to have cards that are relevant against you. It's not like you can't catch people totally by surprise or anything. But I believe in the deck. Yeah, Boil kills all their lands if they have Dryad in play. So I usually think it's good to bring in one Boil against Titan if you have it. Would you play Breach and Mono Red Prowess still? I would, yes, but I also recommend the blue-red Shredder Phoenix Prowess deck. I've spent a lot of time on Prowess, Mono Red, blue-red with Phoenix, blue-red without Phoenix, blue-red with Shredder, blue-red without Shredder, red-green with Dreadhorde Arcanist and Scale Up. And of all the Prowess variants I've played since the release of Modern Horizons 2, the 8-bird Shredder Phoenix build has been the most promising so far. It's funny news. Alright, second amulet is a bit scary. Opponent tutors a Gruul Turf with the T-West. That's how you trophy league. This is top decks like that, huh? I could play a Dryad. I don't think I care that much about the Dryad though. Dryad's also bad because I have Boil in my deck. I could also mill myself here, try to dig for Kroxa. I think that's fine. If I didn't have like double terminate, I'd think a bit closer about it because, you know, Ashok can be attacked, but I think with double terminate, I don't need to really worry about my Ashok dying. Dude, yeah, Cultivator Colossus would be so bad. Very satisfying to see Titan just be a Colossal Dreadball. So I know my opponent has the haste land in their hand, but they shouldn't be able to go castable spell off Ragavan. They shouldn't be able to haste the Titan next turn. So I think we just kick the Tourach. Unless there's something I'm misunderstanding. Like if they play the haste land, they can't Titan and activate. They can't search anything off Titan. Dude, I discarded 2 dead cards. No. This has got to be the last card you ever want to discard here. It's funny. Okay. Hope I didn't miscalculate too much with the Dryad. I don't think I did. I mean, this is just easy trade here. I think I mill myself looking for Kroxa here. No Kroxa. Settle for a 3/2 Tourach. Oh, whoops. This card's another Titan. Feeling pretty good. The Urza Saga's not, you know, terrible here though. Ashok does counter chapter 3 at least. I think I'm gonna terminate this token, hit my opponent for 5. Because I'm still digging for Kroxa. Still no Kroxa. They could have hasted a contract. They don't even need white mana to haste a construct. We lose. Pretty good top deck. Where are my Kroxas? Where are my freaking Kroxas? I guess I probably was supposed to leave up the Shinka, but I'll still attack now. I did side one out. I did side one out. Yeah, one is in the sideboard. That's true. I think we'll be okay without it also. Inquisition first. I guess if they have some respect. Oh yeah, Turn Timber Symbiosis. I'm like, why didn't I take that with the Inquisition? I was confusing with the. Wait, yeah, that one's 70. The other NBFCs, the black one you can take with Inquisition. Okay, 5-0, 5-0 first league back. It's pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. I think let's just run it back at least one more time today. Grist, Sword of Hearth and Home, Karmic Guide, Tropical Island. Not too bad.